classification of crystalline solids as molecular solids, ionic solids, metallic solids, and covalent or network solids, and unit cell. So the unit cell is nothing but the smallest part of the crystal having the shape of the crystal repeats in 3 dimensions to give the entire crystal structure. That is called unit cell. And an unit cell can be represented by two types of parameters, which are nothing but edge length and angle between the edges. That edge lengths are represented by A, B, C, and angle between the edges are represented by alpha, beta, gamma. Between A and B, the angle is gamma. Between B and C, the angle is alpha. Between A and C, the angle is beta. So this is what we discussed. And space lattice or crystal lattice or Bravais lattice, this is also discussed. Nothing but the arrangement of the constituent particles in the crystal is nothing but known as a space lattice or a crystal lattice. In that space lattice, a smallest repeating unit is known as unit cell. Right. Now, again, different types of space lattices are possible for the same type of unit cell. Now, what is the different types of unit cells? First, we'll discuss. Afterwards, we'll go for different types of crystal lattices. See, the unit cells are primarily classified into two types: primitive unit cell, centered unit cell. Now, as per our syllabus, we'll discuss regarding a cubic systems only. There are, as I told yesterday, there are 7 types of crystal systems, and these 7 types of crystal systems contains 14 types of lattices. In that, regarding cubic system and types of lattices of cubic system, those we'll discuss as per our syllabus. Let us take what is primitive unit cell. Now I'll take a cube. So just draw 2 squares in one inside the another and add the opposite corners, then you will get a cubic shape. That's all. Simple this is. Just draw 2 squares, one inside the another, and join that corners with parallel lines. You can get a cubic shape. Now, so this is a simple cube. So what does a cube consist of? A cube has 6 faces. Okay, just I'll show you by taking one simple example here. So let us assume this is a cubic box. So here, this is one face, front face, and this is a back face, top face, bottom face, right hand side face, left hand side face. So total how many faces are there? There are 6 faces for a cube: front, back, left, right, top, bottom. So there are 6 faces for a cubic system. Then how many corners are there for a face, for a cubic system? So here, this is one corner, top corner. This is one corner, 2. Backside 2 corners are there. Means at the top there are 4 corners. What I hold here with my 4 fingers, these are the 4 corners present at the top. Similarly, there are 4 corners at the bottom like this. 4 fingers, 4 corners are there. So total, this cube contains how many corners? 8 corners will be there. 6 faces, 8 corners. And how many edges are there? See here, at the bottom, what is the shape here? Square. 1, 2, 3, 4. So in this square, there are 4 edges at the bottom. Similarly, at the top also there are 4 edges. 4 edges at the bottom and 4 edges at the top like this. What I hold with my fingers here, see, 4, 4, total 8. 4 edges at the top and 4 edges at the bottom. And the top 4 edges and the bottom 4 edges are joined by 4 more edges here. This is one edge, joining the top face and bottom face. This is one edge. This is one. This is the second one. Similarly, backside 2, this is one, and this is one more. So total there are how many edges? At the bottom 4 edges, at the top 4 edges, and this bottom and top 4 edges are joined by 4 other edges. Means totally 12 edges are there. So this you should know here. So a cube contains 8 corners, 6 faces, and 12 edge centers. Okay, so there are 6 faces, 8 corners, and 12 edges. And how many centers are there? Body centers. So exactly in the middle of the box, the center of this cube will be there. The center of this cube is present at exactly middle of this cube. Means only one body center will be there. So these 4 you should know first of all. So a cube has 6 faces, 8 corners, 12 edges, and 1 body center. So these are the parameters of this cube. Now, what is this primitive unit cell? By taking cubic system, I am going to explain here. So primitive unit cell means the unit cell which consists of the particles present only at the corners. See, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, like this is there. If an unit cell consists of the constituent particles only at the corners, that is called as primitive unit cell. So at corners only the particles will be there. This is called primitive unit cell or simple unit cell. Simple or primitive unit cell consists of the particles only at the corners. Okay, this is a primitive or a simple unit cell. Next, centered unit cells. See, what are centered unit cells? So in addition to corners, if the particles are present at the other positions, then they are called as centered unit cells. This corner particles is fixed. Any type of system, this is the basic primitive, means basic system. Corner particles must compulsory. In addition to corner particles, if the particles are present at any other positions, then they are called as centered unit cells. There are 3 types of centered unit cells. What are those? Body centered unit cell, face centered unit cell, and centered unit cells. Now let us come to the first one here. Body centered unit cell. Now, in addition to corners, if a particle is present at the body center, just here. Now this is the body centered unit cell, what is called as. That means in body centered unit cell, the particles are present at 8 corners plus 1 body center. 8 corners plus 1 body center will be there. This is the position of the particles. Next, face centered unit cell. Let us see. This is primitive unit cell. At 8 corners, 8 particles are there. Now, in addition to these 8 particles, the particles are present at the face centers. As I told you now, there are 6 faces for a cubic system. Now see here, this is the front face. This is the center of the front face. So this is the back face. This is the center of the back face. Top face, this is the top face, this is the center. This is the bottom face center. This is the face center at right hand side. This is the face center at left hand side. Means these are the particles what I mentioned here right now, in addition to corner particles. This is called a face centered unit cell. That means the face centered cubic unit cell contains the particles at 8 corners. At 8 corners, along with 8 corners, 6 face centers. Face centered unit cell consists of the constituent particles at 8 corners and 6 face centers. Right. Now come to the another one, end centered unit cell. What is this end centered unit cell? Now see here. This is simple unit cell, that is a primitive unit cell. In addition to the particles at the corners, if the particles are present at the any two opposite phase centers, see total 6 phases are there, that means 3 opposite phase centers we can get. That means the 3 possibilities. See, this is one phase center, this is the opposite phase center. 8 corners, this is fixed. 8 corners. In addition to 8 corners, and we can get 2 phase centers. 2 phase centers which are opposite to each other. Any 2 opposite phase centers. So these 2 you may take. Or instead of taking these 2, you can take front phase center and back phase center. Like this also you can mention. Or instead of taking these 2, you can also take a right side phase center and left side phase center like this. 8 corners, along with 8 corners, any 2 opposite phase centers. So these are all 3 centered unit cells. Like that, unit cells are classified primitive and centered. The primitive unit cell consists of particles only at the corners. In case of cube, the particles are present at 8 corners. In centered unit cells, in addition to corner particles, they may present at the body center. Means 8 corners plus 1 body center. This is called body centered unit cell. Otherwise, face centered unit cell, 8 corners plus 6 face center particles. That is a face centered unit cell. And one more is a end centered unit cell. So which is nothing but 8 corners plus any 2 opposite face centers. Just here. All right. Now look at the screen once there. I have given the diagrams there. See, the first one is given as primitive by the symbol P. So there with blue color dots given 8 corners, 8 particles. So those are the 8 corners of the cube and 8 particles are mentioned with blue color dots there. That is a primitive or simple unit cell. Now come to the second diagram there. BCC, body centered. See that body centered unit cell can be represented in a short form as BCC. BCC means body centered cubic lattice. Okay. Now here, in addition to the 8 particles at the 8 corners, one more particle is present at the body center, that is at the center of the cube. Okay. So this is the structure of body centered cubic lattice. Now come to the third diagram there, given as a face centered, nothing but FCC. Means face centered cubic lattice. F refers to face, C means centered, one more C represents cubic. These are the unit cells of cubic system. So face centered cubic lattice. Now see here, the particles are mentioned at 8 corners. In addition to 8 corners, at the 6 face centers, 6 other particles are mentioned there. So this is the structure of face centered unit cell. And one more last one given there, end centered unit cell given as EC. Okay, there at the 8 corners 8 particles are there. In addition to the particles at the corners, 2 particles are mentioned at 2 opposite face centers. So these are 4 different types of lattices which are possible for us. First one is primitive, remaining all are centered unit cells. Okay, we'll go for the next one. Right. Now, so as I told you, there are 7 types of crystal systems. What are those 7 types of crystal systems? And these 7 types of crystal systems contains 14 types of crystal lattices. Let us see what those 7 systems are, what those 14 types of lattices, what are their parameters. Right now we'll discuss now. See, the first one is a system. type of lattice edge length angle between edges. Right. So the first system is nothing but a cubic system. Just now what we discussed, those are nothing but cubic systems. So this cubic system contains three types of lattices. One is primitive or simple, either you can write. Primitive unit cell. BCC, nothing but body centered. So this body centered in a short form will represent as BCC with capital letters. Instead of writing completely body centered cubic lattice in a short form will represent as BCC, body centered cubic lattice. And one more is face centered, nothing but FCC lattice, face centered cubic lattice. So for cubic system is cubic, and this cubic system contains three different types of lattices. One is primitive, second one is body centered, third one is face centered. Now let us come to the parameters of edge length. Just I'll show you here briefly the diagram. Later I'll show you the clear diagram on the screen. So here, if you take a cube, so if you take a cubic system, in case of cubic system, all three edge lengths are exactly equal, means this is A, this is B, and this is C. So here A value, B value, C value, all edges, all 12 edges of cube are exactly same. That means in case of cube, edge length A is equal to B is equal to C. All three edges, that is along x-axis, along y-axis, along z-axis. Let us assume this is x-axis, this has y-axis, and this has z-axis, for example. Then along all three axes, the edge lengths are exactly same. So we'll take as A is equal to B is equal to C. Okay, right. Now, what about angle between the edges? See here, between A and B, the angle is gamma. Between B and C, the angle is alpha. Between C and A, the angle is beta. See here, along x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis, the angles are exactly 90 degrees. So all are equal. So here, angle between the edges is alpha is equal to beta is equal to gamma is equal to 90 degrees. All angles between all edges are exactly identical. This is a cubic system. Later I'll show you on the screen clearly. So this is first one, cubic system. Next, second one, tetragonal system. Okay, now let us see here. I'll draw one diagram here. Now I'll just here. So this is a tetragonal system. Means here, this length as well as this length, both are exactly same. So here A is equal to B. But what about this length? This is not equal to this one. Let us assume this is C. So two lengths are same. A is equal to B. But this value of C is different from that of A and B. Okay. So in a tetragonal system, two edge lengths are equal. That means A is equal to B, but not equal to C. Just already here. A is equal to B, but not equal to C. And what about angles? So all these A, B and C, all three edges are mutually perpendicular to each other. That means all angles are same. Here also alpha is equal to beta is equal to gamma is equal to 90 degrees here also. Okay, all right. So this is a tetragonal system. And this tetragonal system contains two types of lattices. One is primitive, and the second one is body centered. This tetragonal system consists of only two types of lattices. So one is primitive and one more is body centered. This is second type of crystal system, tetragonal, which consists of two types of lattices, and these are the parameters. Now third one, orthorhombic. So orthorhombic system. Now let us see here. Orthorhombic system I'll take here. So just like an example, take a matchbox. Matchbox is an example of orthorhombic system. Now see here, this is one edge length, this is one edge length, and this is one more edge length. So three edge lengths are present here. Let's see now. This is one edge length, okay, and this is one edge length, and this is one more edge length here, right? So if you observe here, so 1, 2, 3, all three edge lengths are entirely different. That means here A is not equal to B and B is not equal to C. All three edge lengths are entirely different. So in case of this orthorhombic system, A is not equal to B, whereas B is not equal to C. But all these three edge lengths are mutually perpendicular to each other. If you take the angle between any two edges, this is 90 degrees, or this is 90 degrees, or you can take angle here, this is also 90 degrees. So these are mutually perpendicular but not equal to each other. So A is not equal to B, whereas B is not equal to C. But the edge lengths are exactly equal. Alpha is equal to beta is equal to gamma is equal to 90 degrees. So these are the parameters of this orthorhombic system. Then what are different types of lattices possible here? So this orthorhombic system consists of all four types of lattices, just what we discussed right now earlier. One is primitive. So it consists of primitive, BCC, body centered cubic lattice, FCC, face centered cubic lattice, and end centered cubic lattice. So there are four types of lattices possible for this orthorhombic system. This is third type of system. And now come to the fourth one, hexagonal lattice. Hexagonal system. So this hexagonal system consists of only one lattice. There is nothing but a primitive only. No centered unit cells are possible. Let us see here. I'll show the rough diagram here for that hexagonal system. This is one hexagon. This is another hexagon. Just join the lines here. Right. This is the hexagonal system. Okay. Now see here what the edge lengths are. Actually, I wrote a little bit different here. Actually, this one. This is A, this is B, and this is C. So if you take hexagon exactly, little bit deviation is there here. This is hexagon diagram. Now in this hexagon, if you observe this length as well as this length, both are exactly same. Okay, that means let us assume this is A and this is B. Now A and B both are exactly equal. And what about this one? See, just assume here, this is actually three-dimensional diagram. This length and here this length. So both will be actually same, not different. And what about third one? This is C. So one is A, next one is B, another one is C. So here A value, B value both are same but not equal to C. So here the edge length parameters are A is equal to B but not equal to C. Okay, let us assume this is A, B and C like this. Now see here between A and B, what is angle here? Gamma. And this is nothing but equal to 120 degrees. What is angle here? In hexagon the angle is 120 degrees. That means here gamma is equal to 120. Gamma is equal to 120 degrees. Whereas this is 90 degrees. And this also 90 degrees. That means alpha is equal to beta, which is equal to 90 degrees, whereas gamma is 120 degrees. See, once again, in hexagonal system, two edge lengths are same. A is equal to B, but not equal to C. Angle between A and B is gamma, that is equal to 120 degrees. And remaining two are exactly mutually perpendicular here. So this is 90 degrees and 90 degrees. So alpha is equal to beta is equal to 90, whereas gamma is not equal to 90, that is equal to 120. So these are the parameters for a hexagonal system. Next, fifth one, rhombohedral. Rhombohedral, or this is also called as a trigonal. Rhombohedral or trigonal. So this is also having only one unit cell, that is a primitive unit cell. So then what this rhombohedral is? Yes, I'll show the diagrams here now. Like this it will be. Not a cube, this is just a rhombohedral. I will show that a clear diagram on the screen. Now here, in this case, all lengths are equal. So A is equal to B is equal to C. And all angles also equal but not equal to 90 degrees. Here A value, B value, C value, all three lengths are equal. So here A is equal to B is equal to C. Whereas, and here alpha is equal to beta is equal to gamma, which is not equal to 90 degrees. All angles are equal to each other but not equal to 90, means the three axes are not mutually perpendicular to each other. So this is rhombohedral. Next, sixth one, monoclinic. So this contains two unit cells. One is primitive unit cell, another is end-centered. Primitive and end-centered. Two types of lattices are possible. And what about the parameters? So this diagram is not possible to draw exactly on the table board here. That will share on the screen. Primitive and end-centered. Here A is not equal to B is not equal to C. Means all three edge lengths are different. Then alpha is equal to gamma is equal to 90 degrees, whereas beta is not equal to 90 degrees. Means two angles are same and one angle is different. Just like as this we can compare with our television set. So in the television set, if you observe, base will be there like this. This is the base and this is the front screen. And if you observe, the back screen will be like this, just like us. Then here two angles will be equal to 90. So this angle is equal to 90, and here this plane like this is their screen now. Okay, here angle also equal to 90. Okay, lateral show the screen, but this is not equal to 90. So just like as a TV cabinet, we can compare this. So all three lenses are different. Only two angles are same, alpha and gamma, which is equal to 90, whereas beta is not equal to 90. This is monoclinic. And seventh one, triclinic. This also contains only one unit cell. This is a primitive unit cell. And here all lengths are different. A is not equal to B is not equal to C. And all angles also not equal. Alpha not equal to beta not equal to gamma. So these are the parameters of this triclinic system. So these are 7 types of crystal systems. Now let us see once on the screen the textbook diagrams. Okay. Next one. Yeah. Now see on the screen. These are the diagrams for 14 types. 14 types of crystal lattices and 7 types of crystal systems. See the first diagram there, cubic system. So the cubic system has parameters given as A is equal to B is equal to C, alpha is equal to beta is equal to gamma is equal to 90 degrees. All lengths and angles are exactly same. And regarding that, 3 types of lattices also given side by there with blue color, green color and orange color. The symbols given as P, I and F. Okay. So there is first one is primitive unit cell, second one is body centered, and third one is face centered. So opposite to cubic system, there are 3 diagrams are there. Those 3 diagrams are 3 types of lattices of cubic system. This is the first one. Now coming to the second one, tetragonal system. There A is equal to B is not equal to C, but all 3 angles alpha is equal to beta is equal to gamma is equal to 90. As I mentioned earlier, there are 2 types of lattices for tetragonal. One is simple cubic or primitive. Second one is body centered. See, opposite to tetragonal, 2 diagrams are given there with the blue color and green color. Those are nothing but first one is a primitive unit cell. Second one is body centered unit cell. So 2 types of lattices. Now coming to the third one, orthorhombic system. See in this orthorhombic system, there are 4 types of lattices and the parameters are A is not equal to B is not equal to C, and alpha, beta, gamma are exactly equal, which are equal to 90 degrees. Now there are 4 types of lattices here given as P, I, F and C. First one is primitive, second one is body centered, third one is face centered, and fourth one is end centered. 4 types of lattices are possible for this. Okay. And next one is hexagonal system. So here what the diagram given here for hexagonal system, that is not correct. The diagram is given wrongly there. So what I shown earlier in the screen on the board, that is correct. Here the diagram given wrongly. This is not correct diagram. So parameters are A is equal to B but not equal to C. Alpha, beta 90, gamma is equal to 120. Diagram given as P, that is not correct. Actually it should be hexagonal. Small mistake is there. Next go for a trigonal system. So where A is equal to B is equal to C. Alpha, beta, gamma are equal but not equal to 90. Only one type of lattice is there. Come to the next one, monoclinic. There the 3 lengths are different. A is not equal to B is not equal to C. Alpha, gamma equal to 90. Whereas beta is not equal to 90. Actually it was given as 120, not 120. That is 90 degrees should be there. So alpha, gamma is equal to 90, but beta is not equal to 90. It is mentioned as 120. That is not correct. It should be 90. So 2 unit cells are there. One is primitive and another is centered unit cell. And next one is triclinic. So in case of triclinic unit cell, all three edge lengths as well as all three angles are entirely different. Okay, so this is regarding types of types of crystal systems and the types of lattices present in that crystal systems. Okay, now board cleanse. Okay, right. Now let us hear once. Now if you observe here, total how many lattices are there? Here 3 lattices are there. Here 2 lattices is there. Here 4, here 1, here 1, here 2, here 1. Total there are 14 types of lattices and 7 types of crystal systems. 7 types of crystal systems. Types of lattices are 14. Both are different. Systems are 7. Types of lattices are 14. Now in this, what is the most symmetric system? What is the most unsymmetric system? So if you observe here, cubic system, all edge lengths as well as all angles between the edges are exactly same. So this is the most symmetrical. Once in previous exams also they asked which is the most symmetrical and which is most unsymmetrical system. So cubic system is the most symmetrical system. Which is the most unsymmetric? Now come to the last one here. Triclinic. In triclinic, all edge lengths are different as well as all angles between the edges are also different. So this is the most unsymmetric system. Most symmetric system is cubic as well as most unsymmetric system is triclinic. So this is regarding types of crystal systems and types of crystal lattices. Okay. Now we'll go for another topic now. So still today what we discuss is what are the types of unit cells. There are 2 types of unit cells. One is primitive, another is centered. Again, centered unit cells are 3 types are there. One is body centered unit cell, second one is a face centered unit cell, and third one is end centered unit cells. Then what are different types of crystal systems and lattices? There are 7 types of crystal systems, and these 7 types of crystal systems contains 14 types of lattices. And these crystal systems are represented by the 2 parameters called edge lengths and angle between the edges. Among these, the most symmetric one is cubic and the most unsymmetric one is triclinic one. Okay, right. Now let us see. Calculation of number of particles in the unit cell. Means if you take one unit cell, that one unit cell consists of how many particles present in the unit cell? And unit cell contains how many lattice points? In that lattice points, what is the contribution of the particle to the unit cell? We will discuss now. First say contribution of the particles. In the unit cell. What is the contribution of different particles in the unit cell? For example, I'll take an earlier one as example now. See here, let us assume this is a cubic system. In primitive unit cell, there are particles at the corners. Suppose here at the corner one particle is there, let us assume. What the particle present here at the corner, the total particle does not belongs to unit cell. Only some portion of this particle belongs to unit cell because this unit cell is not isolated. This unit cell is a part of crystal lattice, that's all. This can share with some other unit cells. Okay. Suppose if a particle is present at the corner, this corner particle is shared with 8 unit cells, not with 1 unit cell. How 8 is possible? Now see, this is one box here, cube. From this side, I will add one more box, 2 boxes. Then from the front side, I will add 2 more boxes, just like here now. Let us assume this is the box. This is the corner what I have selected here. Now, one more box I will add here. 2. And two more boxes I will add here. Now, 4. That means in the plane, this corner particle is shared with 4. But the top face is open. Now, exactly over these 4 boxes, I can place 4 more boxes. Then this particle will be completely closed and shared completely. Okay, means in a cubic system, if a particle is present at the corner, that corner particle is shared with 8 unit cells totally. 1 unit cell, along with this, it can share with 7 more. See, this is 1. From this side, I can add 1, 2. From the front side, I will add 2. Total 4. Exactly over these 4, I can place 4 more boxes. Then this portion will be completely covered. Suppose the front side 1, front 2, if I place, the top face is not completely covered. Then top portion also will be covered by 4 more boxes. That means if a particle is present at the corner, then that corner particle is shared with 8 unit cells. Then each unit cell should get a share of 1/8. Now let us see first one. Particle at corner is shared with 8 unit cells. Means the corner particle belongs to the corner of 8 unit cells. Then each unit cell should get a share of 1/8. So if any particle is present at the corner, its contribution to the unit cell is 1/8 only. Total particle does not belongs to unit cell. So if a particle is present at the corner, that corner particle is shared with 8 unit cells. That means each unit cell should get a share of 1/8 particle only, not a total particle. This is first one. Now, so coming to the second one, corner position over, and one more question I will take face center. Particle at face center. Shared with how many unit cells? Now let us see here. So this is the box. Here I have taken a particle. Let us use. So here I have placed a particle here. Exactly, this is the face. In this face center, I have placed a particle. Now this is the particle at the face center. Now this particle will share with how many unit cells? See, exactly over this box, if I kept one more box like this will be completely closed. That means this particle will share with 2 unit cells. One more simple example. Here board is there. This is fixed to the wall. Now this wall belongs to this room as well as one more room present behind that. This is the face of this room. So this wall belongs to 2 rooms. That means each wall should get a share of 1/2. Means if a particle is present at the face center, that particle is shared with the 2 unit cells, then each unit cell should get a share of 1/2. So particle at the face center shared with 2 unit cells. Then each unit cell should get a share of how much? 1/2. So if any particle is present at the face center, if a particle is present at the face center, its contribution is 1/2 because it is shared with the 2 unit cells. This is second one. And third one, edge center. Particle at edge center shared with how many unit cells? Now let us see here now. This is the box. This is the edge. What is viewed here? This edge. Suppose if I place a particle here like this. This is the particle what I placed here. Then this particle will share with how many unit cells? Now, in front of this box, I can kept one more box. Then this front side portion will be covered. Then what about this top portion? Not covered. So over these two boxes, I can place two more boxes. Means like this. Let us assume this is edge center. Okay. Now, this edge in one plane is shared with 2 unit cells. Then now top portion is free. Again, over these two boxes, we can place two more boxes. Then this will be completely closed. That means if I divide this into two parts, let us assume. If I place one particle here, okay, now some part belongs to this and some part belongs to this. Exactly over these two, I can place two more like this. Then this particle will be completely covered. That means if a particle is present at the edge center, that particle will share with how many unit cells? 4 unit cells. A particle present at the edge center, edge belongs to 4 unit cells, means within the plane. Okay, 2 unit cells, and above that 2 more unit cells. So a particle at the edge center share with 4 unit cells, then each unit cell should get a share of 1/4. Therefore, the contribution of edge center is equal to 1/4. Right. Now, one more, fourth position. Particle at the body center particle at the body center. For example, this box is there. Now, I open this box. Inside, at the center of this cube, at the center of this box, if I place one particle, just close this. Does that particle inside this box share with any other unit cells? Not possible. The particle inside at the center of this box cannot share with any other unit cells. That means the total particle belongs to same unit cell. So a particle at the body center cannot share with other unit cells. A particle at the body center cannot share with any other unit cells. So total particle belongs to unit cell. That means if a particle is present at a body center, the contribution of the particle is 1. So this contribution you should know first of all. Then we can go for calculation of number of particles present in the unit cell. See once again. If a particle is present at the corner, a corner particle is shared with 8 unit cells. Within the plane with 4 unit cells, above the plane 4 unit cells. Total with 8 unit cells, the corner particle is shared. Then each unit cell should get a share of 1/8. So the contribution of the particle at the corner is 1/8. Next, if a particle is present at the face center, a face center particle is shared with only 2 unit cells. Then each unit cell should get a share of 1/2. So if a particle is present at face center, its contribution to the unit cell is 1/2. Next, particle at the edge center. If a particle is present at edge center, the edge center particle is shared with 4 unit cells. Then each unit cell should get a share of 1 by 4. So the contribution of the particle at edge center is 1 by 4. If a particle is present at the body center, it is not shared with any other unit cells. So the total particle belongs to unit cell only. So contribution is 1. So just remember these 4 contributions. Then based on this, we can calculate a number of particles present in the unit cell. See once again. Corner contribution 1 by 8. Face center contribution 1 by 2. Edge center contribution 1 by 4. Body center contribution 1. So based on this, we'll calculate a number of particles present in the unit cell, which is a very important question for 2 marks. That in the tomorrow class we'll discuss. Thank you.